So I just finished watching Ahsoka a little while ago, the season finale, episode 8. And the way I wanted to do this video is to break it into 3 parts. Is 1, the episode review. 2, is the episode good as a season finale. Because you can have a good episode but a bad season finale, if that makes sense. For example, The Last of Us. That episode was fine as an episode, but as a season finale, it was lackluster and just wasn't good. More into that when season 2 we get news and a trailer for that. That's when I'll talk about the Last of Us season 1. So I got a lot to talk about, but I'm just saving it for when it's relevant. Same with Halo by Paramount, season 2. But back to the video. So 1, episode review. 2, is the episode good as a season finale? And 3, is the show worth watching? So, like I said, that's how I was going to do it. Everything I'm going to say is just basically going to collide together to the point of, not having any structure as is. It's just, might as well just throw the idea out the window and just speak off the top of my head. So, I'll get right into it. I was hoping, I made a video just the day before talking about what I hope to see in this episode, a little bit more of bonding time between Ahsoka and Sabine. We got that, so fine there. I don't care what happens to Ezra, if he lives or dies, whatever they want to do with him is fine. I was hoping for a long time, it's a season finale, an hour would be great, but of course we don't get that, we never do, except for Andor, because that show's fucking boring, so of course they're going to spend the most time. I was hoping they'd show a reason why we should fear Thrawn. He's this big bad guy, but of course they don't, He has not done anything in this show to convince me, like, holy shit, this guy is, like, damn, this guy is fucking good. Like, he's bad to the bone, and fucking, this guy, there's gonna be a reckoning. But no, it's just some Imperial dickhead, which sucks, because Thrawn's a cool character, but so is Ahsoka, but she sucks this entire show. So I just kind of spoiled it. Do I think the episode's good? Not really. It pissed me off more than anything. Is it a good as a season finale? Structure-wise, the way they, did the episode makes sense. The way they end it, it's fine. In my opinion, as season finale fucking blows. Is the show worth watching? We get a couple cool episodes. In my opinion, there's only one I thought was good. And no, it was not the Clone Wars throwback, which is crazy because I fucking love the Clone Wars, but no. Is the show worth watching? Absolutely not. If you're just a brain-dead Star Wars fan, then sure, go for it. But if you actually have a brain and you can think for yourself and when good TV is good TV and when half-ass bullshit writing like this is not, then yeah, it's not. Don't waste your time. It's sad because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I just don't eat up garbage, Andor, it's fucking boring as hell. The Bad Batch season 2, half of it's filler, half of it's decent, some of it's just not good in general. Disappointing. The Mandalorian season 3, heartbreaking, just crushing how bad that was. A fucking colossal failure. And I would like to try to cope with it and think, well, season 3 probably sucked so they could focus on this show. That's logical. What the fuck happened? Because this show's horrible, It's one thing to say you like a show and admit it's garbage. You're self-aware that a show is bad, but you still maybe enjoy it. Like me with The Book of Boba. That show sucks. But I enjoyed it. But I know it sucks. But I enjoyed it. But it's another thing to try to fucking defend garbage. So, yeah, let's get into it. I mean, I missed some other Star Wars shows that have come out probably recently. What was that one? Was it Tales of the Jedi? Because I didn't watch Visions, I don't care. Tales of the Jedi is pretty good. Wasn't great, but it was pretty good. Look forward to that season 2. But, yeah, so I'm just going to talk about the things that really pissed me off this episode. I should mention Balin. I said that in my last video. I was like, I hope we get to see what he does. And, of course, see him walk around for, like, not even a minute. So nothing going on there. Shin, she goes back to the village with or not the village, but the camp, the Raiders camp. Okay. For some reason, in the beginning of the episode, they're taking their sweet ass time to get to this ship, to the tower. And, speaking of taking sweet ass time, they're going with the aliens. Why? Who the fuck knows? Like, dude, leave these people behind. You are endangering them, taking them with you. What? And of course, they help fix the ship later on, but, why were they there in the first place? They wouldn't have to worry about fixing the ship because they could have flown straight to the tower. I don't get it. Bad writing. A couple cool scenes here and there. Some cool ideas going on, but doesn't mean the episode's good. Doesn't mean the episode's cool. Fuck. We finally get some zombies in Star Wars. How amazing is that? Honestly, that's amazing. We're finally getting some zombies. However, they don't do jack shit, and they only look cool. Of course they can't do much anyways, because the 4 main characters, how many ever there are, of course they're not going to die, which is fine, but, they're not menacing. I was hoping for a face reveal, and we kind of get one. Sabine shoots a Death Trooper so many times in the head that the mouthpiece breaks off. You can see its teeth. What does the zombie do next? It bites her fucking face in. Oh, wait. No, it doesn't. Wait, what? It picks her up by the... Well, first off, it takes her helmet off. I don't know why, because you can grab someone by the neck with their helmet on. They've shown it through very different... They showed it through a lot of Star Wars, movies and shows and shit. You can grab someone by the neck, even with their helmet on. But it takes her helmet off just to pick her up and choke her. Meanwhile, the other Death Trooper is throwing Ezra around. And you can't really knock Star Wars for that. They do this in every fucking movie and show. It's why? Why do bad guys... pick someone off the ground, throw them across the room back on the ground, then walk to them? And why? It does not look good. Movie directors, choreographers, why do you do this? It does not look good. It does not make sense. Because by the time that motherfucker gets back to Ezra, who he just threw across the room, he is already on his feet, hitting back. It's why? What they should have done is had, Sabine's getting choked out right now. Well, not really. She's being held up in the air, being choked by this Death Trooper. The other one should have got on top of Ezra and been choking him as well. But what does Sabine do? She reaches for her lightsaber that got knocked down on the ground. She forces. She uses the Force, and it she's able to wield the Force now. So it's all right. I was kind of hoping she wouldn't get it, just personal preference. It'd be cooler if she just, had a lightsaber and blasters and... couldn't wield the Force. Because not everybody that has a lightsaber needs to know the fucking Force. But whatever. It's just personal preference. Can't complain about it. It's not worth complaining about. But what does she do? Well, she clicks on, clicks it off. What the fuck is up with Disney? They're too afraid to show a lightsaber through the head. These guys are wearing helmets. And they're already dead. This motherfucker in general has been dead for a while. How long has this guy been dead? Because they just resurrected stormtroopers this episode. They gathered volunteers to try to, they just gathered volunteers to sacrifice their lives just so they could be brought back because they're an unstoppable force until they're not. But so she forces the lightsaber, clicks it on, clicks it off, goes through the helmet, and then he dies. Ezra decapitates the other one, but the way they do it is the camera kind of pans with the head, where by the time he does the death blow to the decapitate the Death Trooper, the camera is behind a pillar, so you don't see the body, you just see the head roll. It's just why are we scared? Why? We've seen, and I know it's because Disney, but we've seen this before in Star Wars. We've seen decapitations live action and in animation. Stop being scared. Man. Fuck. But yeah, we get these zombies, but we don't get to see them do anything because they're main characters. We can't have our main characters die. I understand that, and that's why, and that's what's sad, If we had a group of dumbass rebels with us, these guys could just be fucking cannon fire. They could just be fucking getting killed out here. But I'm guessing that the cargo is actually like dead bodies. Like those have to be, the rest of the dead troopers and shit. And they're going to Dathomir by the end of the episode. So like they've got to be resurrecting an undead army, which is cool as an idea, but as an execution, it's gonna be shit if they do that. I mean, fuck. Star Wars isn't cool anymore, so it probably won't even happen. But, yeah, fucking zombies don't get utilized in this one. They kind of contradict themselves. Like 1 second, they get brought back. They're kind of like monsters, like a normal zombie. Then suddenly they're back to being a soldier, shooting guns, and it's one thing to be like moving around, fucking waving your arms and shooting blasters, but it's another thing when you're aiming down sights, shooting like a normal person. And then they're back to being a monster, then they're back to being a soldier, back to a monster, back to a soldier, fucking on and on and on and on. Like, it's no fucking... It's just like, are they fucking monsters or are they still soldiers? Like, you can't be half and half, because if they are, they're doing a shitty job of showing it. Because this Death Trooper, they're sitting here punching. That's another thing. These Death Troopers ambush these guys. They're hiding behind pillars, and then they come out and start shooting them. Well, suddenly, when they make it obvious that they're undead, that's when they start acting undead. Then they're all like, fucking waving my hands around, walking, stumbling and shit. Any other time, they're fucking throwing punches, and it's like, what the fuck? It's stupid. Show pisses me off. So, yeah, those two guys get killed. The Night Sister versus Ahsoka, just bad fucking fight scene. There's like 5 seconds that are decent. The Night Sister kicking Ahsoka's ass. And then, she gets killed later on, but... fucking just horrible fight scenes. Like, I mean, look at this shit. I mean, this looks horrible. Like, what the fuck? Who can watch this and be like, oh, that's neat? The fuck is Ahsoka doing? Yeah, so the Night Sister gets killed because Ahsoka slices her across the gut with a sword and a lightsaber. Meanwhile, you got people in other, like... Star Wars is just so contradicting when it comes to people getting stabbed in the gut and living or dying. That's all I'm going to say with that subject. I don't need to say anything else. Even if you think I'm an idiot, even if you don't agree with anything I'm saying, you have to agree with that. You have to. Because, legit, Qui-Gon dies. Darth Maul doesn't. So on and so forth, so on and so forth. It just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Even with the Mandalorian. That one chick, I don't know her name. But she gets shot by, I think, Mando. Like, I can't remember. But then, Boba Fett picks her up, saves her. It's like, dude, that bitch would be dead. There ain't no fucking way. Reva in Kenobi, that shitty fucking character. She gets fucking stabbed through the fucking stomach by Darth Vader. Makes it off the planet somehow, back to Tatooine. It's like, what, bitch? How are you alive? You can't be alive. But this bitch, she doesn't even puncture. They do not puncture lightsabers in the show. What the fuck, dude? There's another scene where the Night Sister's on the ground laying down. Ahsoka raises, which I don't get this really either in any, like, even in like medieval movies. Like, why do people raise a sword above their head and then try to swing it down? Like, just angle it, point the sword down, and then jab at them. Put your body weight on the hilt, and then, force it on their body. Don't raise your fucking... Because, one of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to raise the sword above your fucking head, and that's when you get stabbed in the gut. Or, by the time you fucking swing it down, they're going to block it. And guess what happens? You guessed it! Fucking genius. It's blocked. But, yeah, it's like, they talk about Ahsoka being this samurai-like fighter, which I don't notice her fighting like a samurai at all this episode. And they even call her a Ronin in this episode. Thrawn says you can be a Ronin or something. I don't know, fuck, dude. It's just shitty fucking show. But, yeah, fight scenes suck. The show has not had any good fight scenes. They take cool-looking night troopers and turn them into just basic-ass stormtroopers that suck. Thrawn is not a good example of why we should fear him. Yeah. Zombies, they have not been dying from blasters or lightsabers, but sometimes, they're just, some guy gets shot or something, and he just the actor is still on the ground the entire time, because I pay attention to this shit. I'm always making sure, like, I want to see how much they have attention to detail, which I have some Snapchats I've taken to some friends. You know, some of them watch the show, some of them have better things to do, and I envy them. I wish I wasn't watching this garbage, but here I am. So, like, I'll have a separate video that will just go into my rants tab, you know, on here, but that's me, like, reacting real time, I guess. But, yeah, some actors just don't get up, and then in the next shot, when they're, like, panning away from the tower, they're standing up. It's like, yeah, okay, so the guy was just laying down for 10 minutes, and he got back up finally, whatever. So, by the end of the episode, you know, Ahsoka's like, you did good to Sabine. Sabine's like, did I? Thrawn got away. Thanks to you, so did Ezra. It's like, okay, so Ezra got away. He went home like he's been wanting. Big whoop. You fucking let Thrawn, who's damn near gonna kill everybody you know, who could kill everybody you know and love. Like, what? You're just giving up? Like, she says Ezra's where he needs to be, and we are where we need to be. It's like, no, you're not. This is not your galaxy. Get your ass back home. And you know they are somehow, some way. But, and then they see a Force ghost of Anakin. I don't give a shit. I love Hayden. Nothing against him at all. But who gives a shit, dude? Yeah, just because Anakin's in the show, just because Hayden, doesn't mean the show's good. Just because they have Easter eggs doesn't mean it's good. Yes, Captain Rex is my favorite Star Wars character of all time. He's in the show, you know, live action. Who gives a shit? I mean, they didn't show him in a cool way anyways. But just because he's in it doesn't mean I'm going to go, oh my god, this episode's great. Because it's not. Granted, that episode alone was pretty good. Not great in my opinion. I think the episode after it, I think 6 was my favorite. But, yeah. So, you got that bullshit. Then Ezra sneaks away from the Empire because he was on the ship when they jumped. And they're back in the galaxy. So, he makes his way back to the Rebels. How he knows where they are, I don't fucking know. Why the Rebels? You know, because they're fucking... Well, I guess it does make sense. I mean, they're fucking retarded anyways. So if they see an Imperial ship flying there and they think, it's just a ship that was salvaged, fucking... So I guess that makes sense now that I think about it. But they let him on, which doesn't make sense now because it contradicts itself, is when he gets on the ship, that all the rebels are pointing their guns at him. Granted, he comes out of the ship wearing a stormtrooper outfit. Why? Like, what was the point of that? Like, why? You are boarding a rebel ship. You know it's a rebel ship. You have a stormtrooper outfit on. Why? You know, first thing a rebel sees a stormtrooper, they're like, shit, I gotta shoot this guy. What the fuck? And of course, Chopper knows it's Ezra. Like, oh, come on. This Disney bullshit. Show's fucking trash. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't fucking watch it. Don't waste your fucking time. Ahsoka doesn't do jack shit this whole show. I don't hate these characters at all, but they just sucked in this show. I am not excited for season 2 if they even go on with it or if they do a movie. I will watch it because I am a Star Wars fan at heart. I want Star Wars to be good. I'm tired of garbage. I want it to be good. I'm hoping it will be good, but my hopes aren't that high because I'm being realistic here. This is all trash. Yeah, so if you want to see more of a video like this, check out the rant in my rants playlist. Or the other Star Wars video that I'm uploading, because, you know, I'm gonna have to bleep some stuff because, you know, I use words like gay, you know, like fag, you know, stuff like that. You know, I'm not homophobic or anything. It's just, you know, I was born before 2009. I'm 1999 when I was born. So, like, you know, just because times are changing doesn't mean I'm gonna change. Fuck you. I'm gonna be who I want to be. This is how I say, you know, I'm a gamer. I call shit. I'm like, this shit's fucking gay. You know, it doesn't mean I'm homophobic. It's just the way it's just a gamer word, bro. Just a gamer word. But no, seriously, like, I'm gonna have to bleep that out because I know that will, you know, I don't want to get fucking people out here. Yeah, I'm a phobic because I made a fucking Mortal Kombat video talking about Sindel, and they're like, oh, you say you hate Asians? Like, when the fuck did I say that? No, but. Yeah, this show is fucking trash. Wasting my goddamn time for it. episode. Now that the the season's done, I can rate it as a season. I'm gonna say 3 out of 10. I was gonna go 4, but 3 out of 10. It looks good. The music's good. The effects, the CGI, everything's good. The acting's fine. It's just the choreography is garbage. The story is garbage. Yeah. I could have watched a fucking porn parody of Star Wars and get more story and fucking... Yeah. A porn parody would be fucking better. I mean, for one... I ain't gonna go into that joke anymore, but... This is horrible. I'm gonna end it here because I'm drained talking about this. I was way more active when I was yelling about shit in the Snapchats I was sending to my friends, but because like I said, they don't fucking watch this garbage, and you shouldn't either. Do something better with your time.